Kathleen, you want to tell them what this activity is? You go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. It really is a pleasure to be here, and I'm thankful for the opportunity to share with you all something very special to me that I hope will encourage all entrepreneurs here this evening, specifically the ladies who have been fighting on your own, in some cases, to make your business a success. My past life included some businesses I started for the sake of survival through some rough times in my life, and many of them failed because of some odds that were against me. However, I learned a lot of lessons from those experiences in a wide range of business sectors. But when inside is not healed, it's very difficult for outside to have success. And because of that battering of life, I needed healing. And that's what God did for me. And what you're about to hear, I dedicated to all the single mothers and female entrepreneurs specifically. The men are also included if you are in those situations, but I'm dedicating this to the struggling persons who need encouragement. I ended up writing a book which is about to be published called Giant on a Stool, Single Mother, Unchained and Unashamed. And what I'm about to read for you is the beginning of that book. Giant on a Stool. Oh giant, what a sight, to see you there without a fight. Atop that stool you sit and sigh, and sadly brood upon your plight. Your groaning heart and distressed spirit can't bring you joy, there's no hope in it. Perk up your soul, search for the answer. To comfort you, no one can figure. Lesser hands can't reach up to your shoulder without some strain and discomfiture. Remove that fist that props your chin. Pull up your socks, show us your grin. Get on with your gianthood, make clear your aim. Stand tall and conquer, no pity to gain. Giants don't cry and neither sigh. They don't walk on tiptoes, on God's strength you rely. So pick up your stool, regain your vision. You are no fool, you're a giant on a mission. The story behind the giant. It was the morning around 7 a.m. of the 7th day of the 7th month of the 7th year of the 7th millennium, Sunday, 7th July 2007, when I sat on a small stool in my friend's kitchen crying about my life. My marriage had just ended brutally. I didn't know what the future held, with having to raise 2 children all alone. And the business I had started was labor-intensive, undercapitalized, costing more than it was earning. I was forced to move into an almost uninhabitable apartment while facing a multitude of other issues, after already suffering through some pretty tight years, to put it mildly. I didn't quite know what to do, and the future looked bleak, except for the few dreams I had held dear to my heart. I had my head down in my hands, crying loudly, I mean literally. Single mothers often cry, in spite of how many people in their circles relish the thought of making and seeing them cry. Know that I'm not ashamed to say today, I cried. Life was hard. Suddenly, as I wept, I had an exquisitely animated vision of a chubby giant in skimpy clothes, a jersey and shorts with boots and socks, sitting on a small stone with tufts of grass sprouting at its base out in an open field, weeping miserably, with tears flying all over the place. As this vision flashed before my eyes, it was accompanied by a voice thundering in slightly mocked resignation. And the giant cries. Well, I can't tell you how hilarious that image seemed to me. And I burst into peals of laughter. I couldn't help myself as the image of this huge man with his boyish attire, looking distressed, struck me as the most ridiculous thing I had ever seen. Imagine that, a big, capable giant in utter despair. What could so trouble him, causing him to weep this way? He was too large to weep. He should be able to deal with any problem. Nothing should be able to defeat him. I knew God was making fun of me, getting his message across most effectively. I was that distressed giant. As comical as the image seemed to my mind, so it was to the cloud of witnesses, those down here and those up in the heavenlies looking down at me. It was not right that a powerful woman should cry in such distress. It's just not right. As I laughed, my strength was returning. And of course, who could be sad while laughing? I knew that everything was going to be all right. Powerful, giant, distressed entrepreneurs, mothers and others, you are also too powerful to be in distress. Be encouraged today. The sky is your limit. God bless you. Thank you.